didn't love myself, and I you give power and influence to the wrong people. Look how it turns out. You have to hype yourself up and nobody else on the external is hyping you up. You have hello. So, today's little solo dolo episode is going to be about letting things be easy. And what do I mean by letting things be easy? I mean, like not pushing yourself to make things more difficult than they need to be just because whatever is happening seems too easy. And that sounds like so simple. The example is like when you're doing a math problem and you come up with the answer too effortlessly, like you're taking a test and then you're looking and you're like, "Oh, I know this. Oh, I know this. I know this. I know this." And then you start second guessing yourself because you start second guessing yourself because you assume that there's no way that you could have gotten the answers to all these things that effortlessly, that easily, that quickly, whatever the case may be, right? And then you start hoeing yourself because now you're in your head about every answer that you come up with now, and you're like, I don't know about it. And then you start going back and like erasing the answers that you had and putting something else because oh, that can't be right because that was too easy. And that's kind of what I mean by this type of example. And it's not going to be a long podcast episode, but this was something that hit my mind to talk about because there is this thing that's happening right now for a lot of my 250 and others who are on the ascension path, that are stepping into their power right now, that are coming out of the abyss, that have been doing the work and clocking those spiritual hours for themselves, and have really been leveling up in the spiritual realm, and their new energy, their new frequency, their new vibration, their new way of existing and thinking and feeling and doing and acting and breathing is altering the way in which people perceive and support you. Perceive, receive, and support you, show up for you, and the way that they treat you. I feel like I need to give kind of like the disclaimer for it because for a lot of us who have just been constantly in the survival mode, I mentioned this about a recent podcast that I did, or maybe it was the recent full moon in Scorpio. If you've not seen that video, it's coming out tonight. I'm filming this on May 10th, 2025. So, but it will be live. This full moon in Scorpio video will be live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I touched on kind of the same thing where because it's this energy of coming out of the survival mode, of coming out of feeling like we got to be like ready for war, like suited and booted up, warrior mode activated at all times, and expecting a fight and expecting to have to struggle for everything and expecting to have to thug it out and be hyper independent and do everything ourselves and do the things that we really would prefer not to have to do on our own or by ourselves, or as a struggle. And we're coming out of that time currently right now. Those of us, like I said, who have been really putting in the spiritual clock and the spiritual hours to level themselves up enough, their frequency, their energy, their vibration enough for it to start to have this external outward effect, again, on your environment, on the way that people are treating you, the way that people are interacting with you, the way that things happen for you. And also with that, there's a lot of people who are becoming very rapid manifestors. So please make sure that you're speaking with conscious intention, that you are very cognizant about what it is that you're saying. Know your energy, know your your energetic output and your energetic input, what your energy is like when you're putting into something or someone, a project, a task, whatever the case may be, manifestations. And also outwardly, what kind of energy on the day to day are you projecting out into the world and into the universe? Because all of that is going to have an effect on your manifestations that come in, and the way that they present to you in your physical life. So side note on that, just please be mindful of your energy in this time. The Scorpio full moon energy is really, I know I'm getting redundant here, but the ones who have been doing the work, we're really getting this extra oomph, this extra boost of energy to our spiritual gifts and abilities. And a lot of us are kind of like hulking up, a lot of us are kind of like hulking up, like, on the spiritual front, with our manifestation abilities, number one, but in our abilities across the board. And it's making us really, really magnetic for a lot of people, places, and things, opportunities and things that were kind of on the back burner. I mentioned this in the full moon and Scorpio video as well, but there was like a lot of things that a lot of us had kind of waiting in queue for us, because it was waiting for us to show up for ourselves and our highest version, or just to essentially just step into our power, claim our energy and our divine authority, and that soul and star power that we have within ourselves, and not be running from it, and not be trying to like hide from it or dilute it, and pretend like it's not an effect and it's not something that we have and have always had within us. So this is just one of those, this is what that Scorpio full moon energy is really, really bringing into us right now. But also, as the kind of side effect from this energy and in the changes that are taking place, it's the way that people are interacting with us. I was speaking with my friend earlier. Hey, Martina. I was speaking with my friend earlier, and she and I were kind of exchanging back and forth of how it feels weird how people are talking with us or interacting with us, or not interacting with us anymore, and kind of like noticing, observing, being very consciously observant of the way that people, places, and things are now kind of starting to drop off of the map from our lives, and no longer able to connect with us or interact with us in the way and manner in which they used to be able to connect and interact with us prior to this energetic level up and frequency shift and vibration upgrade that we are currently going through, experiencing, and will be experiencing probably for about the next month or so. Not everybody, I keep having to say this because it's not, as much as I would love for it to be everybody, not everyone chose to do the work on themselves. Not everybody chose to ascend. Not everybody chose to put in, the work for themselves to be able to make it to the point of being able to experience this really profound change and shift that's taking place on planet Earth. And at this point that I'm speaking about currently for this whole podcast. So I do feel like I need to put the caveats in there all the time when I say this, because I don't want I don't want to, give people false hope, because if you chose to do, if you chose to sign up for this or not, but most of the people who are seeing this video right now, or who are called to watch this podcast, you have done the work, or you are in the process of doing the work, and you have chosen to embark on the ascension process, which means that at some point in time, you're going to experience the very things that I'm talking about currently, right here, right now, as well. At some point, everybody's moving at different speeds on their timeline. And so that's just what it is. But the way that we have been experiencing, my friend and I were talking about, we have been experiencing how people stop interacting with us kind of in the way that was unaligned with us recently. Meaning, example, there were a lot of people who, personally, for me, there were a lot of people who would, only hit me up when they just needed something, or, when they were essentially trying to use me to bridge the space between where they're at and where their higher self is, to try to like make that spiritual, I don't know, connection to God source universe. It was like, I don't know how to give the example any other way than this. It was just, again, just trying to be the bridge between where they're at and where they want to be spiritually, energetically, vibrationally, frequency wise. And by staying in contact with me in any way, shape, or form, or only, again, like I said, only wanting to reach out to me when it was something like, oh, I need you. But any other time outside of that, they couldn't pick up the phone or reciprocate the friendship or the energy. And it's a lot of that has been cut out, and that's something that does take place as you begin to level up. And I'm trying to find another way to say it, but it's a spiritual, energetic thing. As your frequency changes, rises, and grows and upgrades more and more, the cost of having access to you grows as well. So not everybody is just going to be able to have access to you, and that's just what it is. That's just a part of it. That's just kind of how it goes. And also the people who have been the people who have been like not so great to you also start dropping off like flies. They effortlessly kind of disappear from your life, and you'll notice maybe it's something like your calls won't go through to a person, or you won't get their messages, or you don't get their texts, or you don't get their emails, or you're not able to connect online. There's like an energetic dissonance that takes place, and I've given the example of the energetic dissonance that happens. But energetic dissonance is essentially like the gap between people, and God's source universe allows for like a little bit of gray space between you and other people, so that like maybe you're the light for them. So they leave like a little bit of space for that person to be able to kind of see your light, and if they're doing the work on themselves, continue to be able to follow you as you keep moving up, and you keep moving up, and you keep moving up, right? But if they don't move, that space starts becoming more and more, and then you start getting that energetic dissonance where the gap between you and another person energetically is too far for you guys to be able to connect via energetically, physically, on in person, whatever the case may be. It makes it next to impossible, or just impossible, for you guys to communicate, to see each other, to talk, to connect in any way, shape, or form. And this energetic dissonance, and this is why a lot of people go through, they'll be like, I don't know what happened to that person. They just stopped, we just stopped talking, and they just, they kind of just ghosted, and they went ghost mode. And this is what happens when your energy starts to grow. And then this is also where those who are doing the work to ascend and grow and heal, they kind of start feeling sad and lonely, and start like rethinking their decision on this path, because it gives you kind of like the isolated feeling like, did I do something wrong? Am I being punished? Why is nobody around me, kind of thing. And it's not that. It's just that those who leave your life, yeah, it might be lonely for a little bit of time, but like new people that are in alignment with you will start coming in. And this is where I want to pick back up and segue back into the main topic here of things becoming easy, because you start meeting people who are in alignment with you, and who just want to come in and support you and reciprocate with you, where these other people, who you had these connections with, whether romantically, platonically, or business, they were not reciprocating with you, and you were pouring into them, and you were doing for them, and you were providing for them, and you were showing up for them, and you were being there for them, and you were fighting for them, and you were holding everything together for them, but like they weren't doing anything for you. Only the only time that they thought about you was when it was convenient for them, beneficial for them, or when they needed something from you. And I'll even take it a step further, is when they needed a refill in their energy. When they needed some of your good, potent energy to refill or jumpstart their battery, because their energy is raggedy and dead. And that's just what it is. Like that, hey, I'm gonna keep it a buck hundred with y'all always. And those are those energy vampires who didn't need to have access to you anyways. Like, don't miss these people. Don't miss the people who gave you nothing in return, regardless how long or what kind of relationship it is with these people. I don't care if that's family. I don't care if those are ex-lovers, baby mamas, baby daddies. It doesn't matter. These are people who were taking from you in some way, shape, or form, and it was not reciprocal, and it was not an equally yoked relationship, and that's why they didn't make the cut. And so, what God Source Universe is going to do now is bring in people who are going to support you, who are going to provide for you, who are going to love you, who are going to be there for you, who are going to reciprocate in ways that you didn't even know. But the thing is, it's hard. I'm telling you from firsthand experience, it's really, really hard to adjust to that kind of style, to adjust to those kind of people, to adjust to being actually fully seen, perceived, received, and supported and loved for just being who you are and what you are and for doing what it is that you're doing. It's kind of like the equivalent to feeling like you're on punked. You know what I mean? Like kind of like the equivalent to feeling like where are the cameras? Is this for real? Especially when it's something like it's your a career thing, like a career opportunity. You're like, this is too good to be true. Now, always fact check things, because if something is too good to be true, like, and you just investigate. Use your intuition, but then back it up with some logical checking out and due diligence on your part. But anyways, outside of that, there's a lot of things that are required for you to be able to kind of adjust to this new way of doing things, of existing and having this kind of support. And I'm telling you this currently firsthand because I'm going through it right now. It's difficult, and it doesn't seem like something that should be difficult, but when you're used to doing things by yourself, being very hyper independent, being, on your own, and but not because by choice, right? But because when you asked for help and when you wanted those things, nobody showed up for you. Nobody helped you. Nobody was there. Nobody stepped up to the plate. Nobody answered the call, right? And so you were just like, fine, F it, I'll do it myself. You hoes. You know what I mean? And so this is what I'm talking about. Like, nobody ever wants to just out of willy-nilly, just free will, being like, I'll just do everything myself all the time. I don't need help. Like, that's not nobody wants to do that. And so that's what I mean by, like, right now it being this pivotal point where things are changing for a lot of us, where the struggles and the difficulties in our everyday life, in our everyday relationships, and interpersonal connections and things of this nature, it's just falling by the wayside, and the shift is taking place where, if you didn't have a lot of money before, like, now money's starting to come in. If you didn't have a lot of support before, now you're starting to become supported. If you weren't getting seen and recognized for the things that you were doing, now you're getting seen and recognized and supported for all the things that you're doing, have been doing, and will be doing. And if you weren't loved and appreciated before, now you're being loved and appreciated in every kind of way. You know what I mean? And this is what is taking place, but it's hard. It's hard to adjust to it. And I just want everyone to know that it's okay to allow yourself to be loved, and it's okay to allow yourself to be seen and accepted and wanted and appreciated for all that you are in its entirety. And it's okay for you to effortlessly make money. And it's okay for you to effortlessly, get recognition for your work and your achievements and the things that you're creating and doing. And it's okay to be supported. And it's okay to feel good and have fun while you're doing things, right? Like, so many of us have been conditioned to feel like if things are fun, if I'm enjoying my life, if this task of making money, if this task of doing this thing is easy and enjoyable, then this must be something wrong. This must be, like, I must be doing some sort of sinful activity here. This must be no, shameful, right? And we've got to break that. And I just feel like this is just God sourced universe really wanting me to bring this to you all's attention currently, because this is what we are coming up against. This is not against, this is what we're coming into right now at this time. Summer's gonna heat up for us in more than one way. It, like I said, maybe you got some hot love prospects on the rise. You know what I mean? Maybe it's summer loving, feeling so good. Summer loving. Maybe you gotta have a little bit of summer loving going on. Or I don't know. It just feels like this is juicy, really good, feisty, frisky, fun, flirty, light energy that is coming in with this full moon and Scorpio energy. This morning at 9:04 a.m., we had a 4.1 magnitude earthquake here, and it's just very interesting, symbolic of the shift that's taking place right now in the split of energies. I like to always give the reference back to the Flintstones and Jetsons theories, right? Like, same world, same existence, same planet, but like two different realities of it. The Flintstones were living kind of like post-apocalyptic life, and the Jetsons were living kind of like in like this very nice futuristic, everything's abundant and great life. Yeah, so those, if that's kind of the time that's happening. And so for it to play out in the physical energy of this earthquake, right as this energy is setting off, and then of course again on the 12th is the Scorpio full moon. It's is very accrual. Hello. Sorry. He came to deliver a message. But yeah, so the 12th being the Scorpio full moon, and all these things coming in, it just was very interesting and exciting to see it play out in the form of the earthquake. Right. Because you make my earthquake. You make my earthquake. Yo, anyways, I just wanted to come in and give you guys kind of the preliminary warning of, at first, it kind of sends you into a panic, like, oh my God, why do these people want to talk to me? Why are these people talking to me? Why do these people want to interact with me? Why are so many people asking about me? Why are so many people wanting, it's kind of like the feeling of going from neglected and unwanted to like overnight, kind of like this, the Cinderella, the Belle of the Ball type of all eyes on you kind of demeanor. It's like this is what's, you're like an overnight celebrity, almost kind of like overnight celebrity, but it's not, but it did, but it's not. A lot of us, we've been putting in the work behind the scenes in the background for decades with no proof of any of the work that we've been doing in the physical. We ain't been getting no money. We haven't been getting any recognition. We haven't been getting any support. It's just been us, boots to the ground, 10 toes down for decades with nothing, and except for our unwavering faith in the process, trusting the process, even when we can't see the progress. And that's just been us walking by faith and not by sight. Got that unwavering faith all the time. And that's essentially what's just been keeping us going. That and our sheer force of passion within our soul for the things that we're doing and our missions, because it has been a hot mess, and but I want to put out also the disclaimer of, there's going to be people on the outside who don't see that, and oh, you can best believe there's going to be some haters. There's going to be some haters over the fact that you're shining and glistening, and everybody wants to be in touch with you. Everybody wants to be a part of it. And then not only that, the ease. Let me say it again. The ease in which you're now going to be able to experience the greatest things in life is what is going to become a irksome point for a lot of people around you, because they're going to be just now entering. Although they gave me the wheel card in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck. They gave me the Wheel of Fortune, where it's like the wheels finally turned in your favor. And so it's like, but you've been at the bottom of the wheel for the last couple of decades, right? Just like I said, the aforementioned struggle bus city all day, every day, nothing. And now it's just now turning to where like you're becoming to be at the top of the wheel, and it's right. But like people are now, they're entering their really bad time. A lot of people are entering now their really bad struggle time. A lot of people are entering their five of coins energy, kind of left out in the cold, feeling like they're in lack, like they don't have enough to get by, like feeling the unwantedness. You really in the trenches. It's now a lot of people's time to be in the trenches. And I also want to say to a lot of you guys, God source universe is watching us and how we treat people, while they're going through their things. And I think it's always important for us to have that sense of compassion for them. What is the word? Like feeling bad, not feeling, just like feeling bad, understanding. Like, damn, I hate that for y'all, but you gonna have to thug it out, like we did, because you because it did. You seemed to enjoy it while we were down there, struggling. So it's just, hey, ride it out. You just got to ride it out. I'm trying, but I've had to go through this where I have had to show compassion to the people who showed me none repetitively in my life. And that's going to happen with y'all too. Like, just know that. And if you don't, you just know that God Source Universe saw that as well. So just like God Source Universe saw us thugging it out, keeping it boots to the ground, 10 toes down for a really long time, going through, triple the trouble, and now we're going to get triple the blessings for it. It's just, don't think that you can be out here doing people dirty just because they haven't been the greatest. God Source Universe, let God Source Universe handle that. That's not what you stay in your lane and you focus on your newfound life of goodness and abundance, and make sure you put that abundance into things that can benefit the highest good of all and not just yourself, because we're also not trying to be like them. And as long as you're doing things that are good and in alignment with your number one, your soul's mission and what you came here to be doing, but you're also able to bless others who need it and deserve it. God Source Universe is always going to look out for you, and God Source Universe is always going to provide for you, and God Source Universe is going to always protect and protect you and yours. Know that, and don't let this fear mongering stuff happen. A lot of people right now, the energy is panic. It's just sheer panic. I experienced that today while I was getting my hair done, and everybody's freaking out. And it's kind of like they don't know what it is, but they know that something's gonna happen, and it's not, they're on the receiving end of it. A lot of people are on the receiving end of whatever this is that's about to happen. And there's just an air of fear, panic, and chaos energetically with a lot of people. That ain't got nothing to do with you, right? It does, but it doesn't. You're okay. Don't Fear is literally the lowest energy that you could ever exist in, and I know it because I was there, and it's rough. But don't allow whatever is going on in the world to alter what it is that you're supposed to be doing. You focus on this path over here that you're building, and don't worry about what is going on over there. God Source Universe is handling it, and you have orders. And I'm gonna just say that you have orders, and you need to stick to your orders, and you need to stick to the plan, and that's it. Everything that's happening is in divine order across the board. Not just in one country, everywhere. Everything that is happening, it has to happen for the highest good of all. And we will rebuild anew on a lot of really solid foundations with love, with mutual respect, with a lot of really good, pure-hearted people. But you got to get rid of the problems first. You got to get rid of the corruption first. You got to get rid of the evils first. You got to get rid of and there's always going to be evil, like, right? There's always going to be, but But you know what I'm saying here. You gotta get rid of the corruption and I can't even. I'm just gonna leave it there. You just gotta get rid of the bad things first before you can begin to heal the problem. And you're not going to build a mansion on landslide property. You're not going to build a mansion on crumbling foundation. And we're not even doing that. We're building empires and palaces, and the supercontinents is like Pangea. We're rebuilding supercontinents and things of this nature. So just stay afloat, focus on the things that you're doing, and let things be easy for you. Allow yourself to thrive and be happy and be successful and be loved and be cherished and be taken care of. And because you've earned it, you have earned it, you have earned it. And let yourself have it, accept it, and let yourself enjoy the sweetness of life that is coming in. And that's what I have for you guys. Don't forget that you can check out my link tree, because your girl been putting in work on the link tree. There's a lot of things that you can buy that I've put on there. I got some new merch on there that you can purchase directly from the link tree. And I got some new PDFs and templates that you can buy directly from the link tree. You can join the Patreon, get the New Earth Guidebook for Healing and Ascension on there, and all the things that your girls got going on. I'm really out here. I really am. I really be out here doing things, and y'all don't know. You just check it out. Check the thing. Check it out. Check it out. And yeah, and then also you can apply to work one-on-one with me if you feel aligned and you're ready to put in that work. And that's what we do. We do intense work over here. And if you're ready to pony up for it, let's do it. Let's do it. And that's what I got for you all. I hope it was helpful. And until next time, I'll see you. Be squad.